Famous people, can you mention who's come along to Bobby White and bought your products?
I mean, yeah, we've had a lot of famous people over the year. We've had like Jay-Z, Beyonce. She sees some stuff in Harvey Nichols when we had it in there at the time. And then she wanted to meet us after, so we got to meet Beyonce.
What was she like?
I mean, when I met her, it's probably the only person I've been starstruck
Really?
to meet.
I overheard a conversation you and Tommy was having about the airbrush scenario.
Yeah, like we had a picture together. Like I walked in there, it's like she flung her arms around me and gave me a kiss, and I was just like, wow, this is like insane what we've met. Like Beyonce, yeah. Yeah, and we had a picture, and the picture coming through, she looked like an angel standing there. I think she looked like, definitely been airbrushed, and I was just seeing it all shiny, so I needed to make the picture match. But yeah, we met Prince. We done it on his 21-night tour.
Wow.
But again, he was probably the first one we met. We made quite a lot of pieces for him. But when we went to meet him, it was at the O2, and we went into this big room. Everything was like sheeted out in black, and he was on a throne on one side of the room. And we come into the room thinking we was going to meet him, and the girl was running backwards and forwards, and we was having a conversation like that, so we could never actually get to speak to him.
Why?
We was just, I don't know, 100 metres away, and the girl was just running back having a conversation. And we thought, this must be normal. It's our first like superstar we've ever met.
Yeah.
But looking back, I mean...
That's crazy.
It's crazy, but it's Prince. And I'd preferred that experience with him there than actually just going over and meeting him, because it's quite unusual. And again, we've met a lot of people since, and no one's ever been like that. But yeah, it was a good experience to not meet him, sort of meet him like that way. It was quite funny.
So bar the Prince, bar Beyonce, I mean, day to day, who are the type of people that buy your jewellery?
We do a lot of football players. Again, I'm not big on football, so they come up. We've probably done a lot of football players. I mean, that's our big market. A lot of our stuff goes to the States. That's probably 60% of our jewellery we make now. It all goes to the States. Yeah, I mean, it's so varied. I mean, you get the customer on one hand who buy an engagement ring, and it's their one purchase, their whole entire life. And then we've got customers who carry on buying. They're just constantly, we're always making something for them. You see them like once or twice a year, you make a big piece for them. So yeah, it's quite a vary on different customers we've got.
Yeah. So on your website, pendants, chains, bracelets, rings, earrings are some of the items that you put together. So how would you describe Bobby White? Is it a bespoke jewellery diamond company? What's the right term or right description?
We're definitely we've got our collection online, but a lot of people, even when they order our collection pieces, they want something changed. Even if it's something like small, like if there's like eyes in one of our lions, they'd have ruby eyes instead of like, do you know what I mean, sapphires. They just change little things like that, which they can. Everything is handmade in-house. We'd buy nothing in. So if you want something changed, we can. We're making everything, so we can pretty much do it.
Yeah. What's the most expensive item that you have or that you've ever made for a client?
The most expensive stuff is probably these like engagement rings or necklaces where they can run into the millions. Some of these diamonds can get really expensive.
And do you because you've been doing it for such a long time, do you it's a bit like me with the art market. I mean, we've got pieces next door up to £1 million, over £1 million now. And I walk past it and I don't feel any different about it as when I first got it for a client 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and it was 100 grand, for example. Yeah. I just still see it as an expensive piece of art, but that's all it is. And I'm kind of a bit detached from the actual value of it. With yourself, like when you're handling £1 million worth of jewellery, £5 million worth of jewellery for one particular client, I mean, do you get nervous, or is it something you don't really think about?
You don't think about it. You're right. You have the pieces, you're so used to, I'm not saying you're used to working on that sort of thing every day, but you're so used to working on it, you forget about the value and you kind of look at the beauty of the stone or the pieces you're making.
Yeah.
I sort of miss that. When people ask me, like, what piece do you miss? I actually miss looking at the diamond. Not actually because it's got a big value attached to it, which it has. But yeah, it's like the diamond you sort of miss more when it actually goes. But yeah, you could get attached from the price.
So you guys all seem very, very ambitious, okay? Obviously I saw that firsthand at the Gumball rally. I mean, the entry fee alone, even what Damon said in my podcast and so many other people have said about it, is a hefty amount of money. It's more than people's annual wage.
Yeah.
So obviously people do it because they want to enjoy themselves. They want to experience the Gumball rally for it, what it is. But if you're doing it from a business standpoint, it's actually quite hard sometimes to know whether you're going to monetize it or not. Obviously, you've got the clientele that you could tap into, the network, if you've got a good product and service. You've got the content that you can make off the back end of it, and just the affiliation, like Bobby White next to Gumball, Woodbury House next to Gumball, Richard Hamilton next to Gumball. It's great, but it's again very, very hard to measure whether or not you can make that money back. So anyone doing a Gumball rally with a bit of a business entrepreneurial spin on it has to be quite ballsy, in my opinion. You know, you have to be kind of gung ho for it. You're an ambitious company, so things like the Gumball or other things that you got in the pipeline, what's going to be like the goal? What's the evolution of Bobby White?
Again, like I'm always a trier, so I always weigh things up. And if you think it's right for the business, again, like I've always wanted to do the Gumball. It was a little bit of a two-edged like sword in a way. I've always watched it since I was a kid. I've absolutely always wanted to do it. And when we started talking and sort of we can now make this happen. Yeah, you got to look at it from obviously a financial point of view. It's expensive to do, but the people you meet and the event, I don't think you can really measure it. I always say to people, look, it's expensive, but if you are in a position that you can afford to do it, I think, and you like cars, obviously you like that sort of thing, I really do think you got to go for it. It's an experience of a lifetime as well.
Considering doing it next year?
100%, yeah. 100%, we're going to do it again. Again, like for business wise, the people you meet on the journey as well is incredible. And again, like you said, you're meeting so many different people and content for us as well. We've got a content side, so we've got some great videos, and like even this podcast is through the Gumball. Yeah. So you got to keep weighing up all that, because it ain't just a figure. You can't just go there and think, oh, this is 2 weeks ago, have I got my money back? It's about the long term, doing it this year, doing it next year, and sort of keep building up them relationships. And I think that's what business is. Nothing's quick.
Definitely. Have you had anyone off the back end of the Gumball say, oh, look, saw you was on the Gumball, saw your brand, really like what you guys are doing, let's do this project together, or let's, I don't know, talk about this idea, anything like that?
We're in a lot of chats with a lot of people now. Everyone watched the content. That was good because it's exciting. It's not like you're putting boring content out there. So a lot of people, if you meet them, they go, oh God, that was incredible what you've done. Like some people love it, some people hate it. But I think it opens a lot of doors. And you don't know yet to I think 6 months' time, what sort of doors it's going to open.